A brand new investment account for kids is making big headlines, but most parents only know one thing about it. They've heard there's free money involved. What they don't know are the rules, the contribution limits, who actually qualifies, and when the money can be used, or where this account fits alongside with other investing accounts. Today, I'm going to explain everything you need to know about Trump accounts in plain English, and more importantly, I'm going to explain why I decided to add them to my kids' financial plan without replacing any of the other accounts that they already have. Whenever the government introduces a new savings or investing program, there's always a lot of excitement, but there's also a lot of confusion. Social media starts throwing around headlines and people start arguing about whether it's good or bad, and before long, it's difficult to separate facts from opinions. That's why I wanted to make this video. My goal isn't to convince anyone to open one or to avoid one. My goal is to simply explain how these accounts work, who they're designed for, what the benefits are, what the drawbacks are, and how I personally think about them as a dad who's trying to give his kids the best financial head start possible. Let's start with what a Trump account actually is. It's a long-term investment account created for eligible children with the goal of helping them become and begin investing early in life, right? Instead of sitting in a traditional savings account earning very little, the money is invested for long-term growth. One of the biggest reasons these accounts have received so much attention is because eligible children may receive an initial government-funded contribution, giving them a head start before parents or grandparents ever contribute another dollar. The exact eligibility requirements matter though, so families should make sure that they understand who qualifies before assuming they'll receive that contribution. The next question most parents ask is who can contribute? Under the current rules, parents, grandparents, relatives, and even employers in some situations may be able to contribute, subject to the annual contribution limits established for the account, of course. The goal is to encourage families to continue investing over time instead of treating this like a one-time deposit. Just like almost every successful investing strategy, consistency matters, much more than trying to make one huge contribution. Another common question is what the money is actually invested in. These accounts aren't designed for day trading or buying speculative investments. The money is generally invested in diversified U.S. stock index funds, which keeps things relatively simple and gives children broad exposure to the stock market over many, many years. Personally, I actually like that approach because the biggest advantage children have isn't stock picking ability, it's time. A child who starts investing at birth has something none of us can ever buy more of: decades of compound growth. Now, let's talk about when the money can actually be used, because this is another area where people get confused. This isn't designed to be a checking account or an emergency savings account. It's intended to be a long-term investment. There are rules governing when distributions can begin and how they're treated, so parents should understand those rules before contributing. The biggest takeaway is simple. If you're putting money into one of these accounts, you should be thinking long-term, not next year or even 5 years from now. Whenever I talk about investing for kids, people usually ask the same question. Is it better than a 529 plan? Is it better than a custodial brokerage account? Is it better than a Roth IRA? My answer is actually no. I don't think that's the right question. I don't believe there's one perfect account that does everything. I think different accounts have different jobs. For example, both my kids already have Roth IRAs, and that will fund whenever they get qualifying earned income, which they do under me. Those accounts are designed to take advantage of decades of tax-free growth for retirement. They also have custodial brokerage accounts because I want them to have flexible long-term investments that aren't tied specifically to retirement. And now they also have Trump accounts because I think for eligible children, it's another tool that can help build wealth over time for them. Notice what I didn't say. I didn't close their brokerage accounts. I didn't stop using their Roth IRAs. I didn't say this replaces anything. Nothing at all. To me, this is just another bucket, right? One of the biggest lessons that I've learned while building wealth is that financial success rarely comes from finding one magical investment or one magical account. It comes from consistently using the right tools for the right jobs. That's exactly how I think about all these accounts together. They complement each other. They don't compete with each other. So it's just another bucket in my system. If a family is also saving for college, a 529 plan may still make perfect sense because it offers advantages specifically designed for education expenses. If a child has earned income, a Roth IRA remains one of the most powerful long-term retirement accounts available. A custodial brokerage account provides flexibility and broad investing opportunities for kids. And now, for eligible families, a Trump account can become another long-term investment account working alongside those other accounts. Think of it like we're building a house, right? You don't build a house with only a hammer. You're going to use different tools for different purposes, right? And I honestly think that investing works the same way. I really do. Another reason I like having multiple accounts is because none of us know exactly what the future looks like. Tax laws change, education costs change, retirement rules change, life changes. Having different types of accounts creates flexibility. You're not relying on one strategy to accomplish every financial goal in your life. Now, are there downsides? Absolutely. There's downsides with everything, right? The biggest one is that this is a long-term account with rules. It's not as flexible as a regular brokerage account where you can buy and sell investments freely. There are contribution rules, withdrawal rules, and eligibility requirements that parents need to understand. Just because an account exists doesn't automatically mean it's the right fit for every single family. That's why I always encourage people to do their own research and think about how an account fits into their overall financial plan instead of just chasing headlines. For me, this decision was actually pretty easy because it fit with the investing philosophy I've talked about on this channel lately. I believe in starting early. I believe in consistency. I believe in compounding. And I believe that every dollar you invest for a child has decades to grow before they will ever need it. If you've watched my portfolio journey, you already know I invest aggressively for my own future. I want to reach financial freedom. I want to retire comfortably. I want my investments working for me. But I also want to give my kids a head start that I didn't have. If I could legally use multiple investment accounts to help accomplish that goal, then I'm going to take advantage of all of those opportunities. At the end of the day, I don't think parents should open a Trump account simply because it's new or because it's in the news. I think they should open one only if they understand how it works and that it fits into their family's long-term plan. For my family, it became another piece of a much bigger strategy. My kids have Roth IRAs for retirement. Once they have their earned income they get from me, they have custodial brokerage accounts for flexible long-term investing, and now they have Trump accounts as another long-term investment bucket. I don't view any of these accounts as replacing any of the others. I view them as working together toward one goal, giving my kids the strongest financial foundation possible. If there's one thing I hope my children learn from watching me, it's that building wealth isn't about chasing the newest investment or finding the perfect account. It's about consistently investing over decades, staying disciplined, and letting time and compound growth do the heavy lifting for them. The account matters, but the habit matters even more. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing because I'm documenting my family's real investing journey, my own personal journey, and I'm doing it to help people understand how to become wealthy as an average person. I'm building a $1 million invested portfolio. I'm talking about kids' wealth and how to take care of your family. If you enjoy it, hit the sub button. I'll see you guys in the next one.